In other news, Alex Spear this week said, with the addition of Gray, one major league source suggested the Red Sox are unlikely to pursue top free agent starting pitchers, given the expectation that they will need to spend heavily to add a bat. So that's what makes this story, kind of stink.
Yeah, but he's the only one that said it.
Chris Cotillo also said, it is November 25th and there's a ton of winter left. The market has barely moved. With that said, early indications from sources say the Red Sox are shifting their attention to an impact bat at this juncture while not ruling out further pitching additions as the offseason continues. Not ruling it out, but it's not a priority. They are shifted over to a bat, which they also
Fine
need.
By me. Yeah.
They also need. But if Sonny Gray is, I don't know. The thing about this too is I don't want to get too down on these quotes because the primary pitching addition that we've been talking about is Joe Ryan and Tarek Skubal. And those are trades. Those are not free agents. So I don't want to get all too caught up in this because there was no free agent starter that we were looking at and talking about at all. Is there any?
Not really. I mean, early, Dylan Cease is a name that's been floated, but that's really it. That's honestly was more before the offseason even started, just when you knew who was coming up. It's been pretty steadily Joe Ryan and then some free agent, some trade names. Because once we got to the offseason, the second Bregman opted out, it's I don't think many fans want them to spend $30+ million on a pitcher. I think you realize that most Red Sox fans don't want to spend $30+ million on a free agent starting pitcher because the idea has always been trade from your position player depth, get the number 2, and then go sign some bats. I think that's been the mentality for a while. So no, free agent starting pitching, that doesn't dampen my mood at all.
I will say, it definitely did catch my eye when I saw it. And I saw that, the Red Sox are shifting their focus away from starting pitching. What's up?
I'll say this, and this is something I wanted to talk about. It always comes back to these guys, where you didn't have to trade Jarren Duran or Willie Abreu to get the, impact starting pitcher. Now, whether he's a 2 or a 3 or whatever, let's not act like he's a 5. The guy that Breslow was talking about, it doesn't rule us out of, I don't think anything's changed for the Joe Ryan sweepstakes, because if you're gonna trade, if you think from a handiness perspective, it doesn't make sense to have as many left-handed outfielders as you have, and you're going to trade one away just for a lineup construction. Joe Ryan, he's estimated to cost about $6 million this year. So this didn't change anything in my head for specifically that sweepstakes and a few other, the Hunter Greens, the Mackenzie Gores. Those are controllable long-term assets. Yeah, you did give up Brandon Clark, but a lot of the talk about him being the number 5 prospect, that was just because we haven't updated rankings in a while. He's closer to that 10 to 15 range in reality in terms of actual value. So I don't know. I think that's important to note. Yes, the priority should be, if you're trying to make your moves go in order of importance, the impact bats are the next thing on the docket for sure. That's where the attention should be going. But the timeline doesn't really matter all that much, and this doesn't. If you had traded from that major league depth, or the position player major league depth to get Sonny Gray, would be all right, that's the move. But I don't think this, Richard Fitz wasn't the piece that we were holding on to get Joe Ryan. So I don't think this matters for that.